right, welcome back to another episode of Small Guys Podcast. Today we're doing The Whale. A reclusive, morbidly obese English teacher attempts to reconnect with his estranged teenage daughter. This movie's from 2022, won Oscars, and has a 64% critic score and a 91% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Andrew, what were your thoughts? Also, it's on Netflix right now.
Yeah, that's why we're doing it. Well, let me get into it.
Okay.
Yeah, I would click off right there if I was listening.
Yeah.
I heard about this movie and had been meaning to get around to it. I think we both were. Just because it had won some awards. Now that it hit Netflix, perfect time. It's free. I can check it out. This is a pretty depressing movie. Unless you're sick in the head, you might find it entertaining. But I thought this is a pretty depressing movie, and it's pretty sad. Just watch this man. He's it's not like we watch him progress to be like, healthy to fat. Frankly, he's fat from the get-go in the start of the movie, and you just kind of watch him on his journey of the last couple days of his life, really.
Yeah.
So it's not a happy movie. It's definitely like a pretty heavy one. No pun intended.
Yeah, a couple puns you slipped in there.
There are, yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple things off the bat. Obviously, Brendan Fraser won an Oscar for this. I remember us talking about this a couple years ago when we gave our Oscar predictions. We mentioned that we wanted to see The Whale. And I remember it came out, because it wasn't in a ton of theaters. It came out on streaming platforms. And I can't remember if it was $10 or $20 to rent it. And I was like, oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And so I didn't ever rent it, but I saw it was on Netflix last week, and I got really excited that it was on there. And so, yeah, me and you watched it for the first time, and yeah, it was a tough watch. I mean, not that it's bad by any means at all. I really liked it a lot. Brendan Fraser, like, you watch it, and we watch a lot of these like Oscar nominated movies, especially when we get closer to the Oscars actually taking place. And yeah. I think we have this ritual that we do where we try to guess who's going to win what. Mm-hmm. I think if we saw The Whale before the Oscars took place, we would have like all been on board that Brendan Fraser was winning this thing.
Yeah,
the performance he gives is insane
and incredible. Basically, the whole time, he's trying to be this, I would say, like, positive guy. You can see that personality inside him remains throughout the whole movie. Although, like, his exterior is, hideous. It's very unhealthy. He remains positive on the inside as what he might have once been. And that's a hard role to play because basically every actor that he's interacting with is degrading him other than his friend who is a nurse. Everyone else is, his daughter is brutal to him. The Mormon
his ex-wife.
Mormon boy was okay up until the end, and then he finally snaps and is rude to him. His ex-wife is, nice.
That's the kid from Iron Man 3, right?
Oh, was it really? I did not.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks super familiar, so I looked it up afterwards.
Gotcha. But yeah.
He did good too.
No, Brendan Fraser. I mean, everyone in this, it's only 5 actors? There's 5 people.
Yeah, 6 if you count Dan the Pizza Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But or 2 if you count as students, I guess, but they don't have any speaking lines.
They don't, they're just, faces there.
Right.
And I like how they kind of start the movie with him, teaching. That's like pretty much at the get-go there. And that would be weird to have we took some online classes to have a professor that doesn't show up. Usually the professor was always on camera. It was the other way around. The students were trying to keep their camera off. So that would be a weird interaction. And I like that at the end there, we get to, I felt like he was on like like, I'm gonna skip to kind of the end here in this
Yeah.
review,
But
but he was like raped the day before he's going to, die, as we assume. I guess you could say leave it open ended, but
no,
um,
he died.
well, it's open ended. It's up
He
for,
died.
we
His
don't
heart
know.
failed him.
I
He
disagree.
died.
So I think the whale 2
How would he have
is
lived?
EMS shows up. Boom, they save him.
No,
They get him
no
to
one
the
was calling.
hospital. They get him to
Mm,
the hospital. He gets there. They save his life. New robotic heart. He gets on a weight loss journey. The whale 2 is him
no.
training for a triathlon. No, yeah, we can assume that he did pass in the movie. But I like the day before where he just kind of goes like ballistic. It's sad to watch. It's like his like last supper. He's just 2 pizzas. He's going out. He's gonna eat. He was eating chips, and I mean, it was just that was disgusting. Um,
Yeah.
and he messages his students like, "Fuck this, just write me something honest." Um, I don't even know what I would think if a professor wrote that, and he says, a couple of you, gave me the same boring bullshit, but a couple of you actually wrote me some honest things.
Yeah.
So yeah, what a like a brutal kind of ending to that.
Well, I know there was a small community. I don't know how big of a deal it was, but I saw it after doing some research on this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there were some people out there that were upset that the movie was like fat phobic. If you watch this
Well,
movie and think that, um, the whole thing isn't really about him being fat. I would say you could have this exact same movie with someone who's an alcoholic or does drugs. It's someone that
I think it's just
isn't
someone that's
happy with their
suffering.
life,
Yeah.
that's suffering, depressed, and they're finding an outlet and it ends up killing them. So I think you could have,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like you could have done it with drugs, you could have done it with
Yeah, I don't.
alcohol. With this, it's just food. You know what I mean? It's the same story though.
Yeah, and there becomes a point where like I think we should be a little off topic, just my personal beliefs here. We should be inclusive of everyone. But
Yeah.
if you're making decisions in your life that are like inherently unhealthy, people should hopefully speak out to help you. I
Hmm.
would hope if you're at a point, anyone that thought this was fat phobic, I'm not sure how you would take that away from this. Like, this is not a man that's a little overweight. This is a man that is
No,
going to
he's
die.
600. He's 600
He's going to
pounds.
die because of his weight. It's not someone that
Right.
needs to lose 10 pounds and is a little unhealthy or something or whatever. A couple lifestyle changes. Like, this is someone that if he does not immediately make, well, I mean, at the point in this movie, it was too late almost. Maybe gone.
Yeah.
Maybe if he went to the hospital, they could have slowed the heart failure. But I mean, he was kind of in the end game.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't leave the house anyways. You know, he's depressed, even though
Yeah.
he's a very positive person, and doesn't
Is
lose hope on people. I don't know.
is
Yeah.
it presumed that his partner in the movie that he cheated on his ex-wife with also was incredibly massive?
No, so it's the opposite. He was very skinny. He stopped
Skinny.
eating. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right, okay. That's what
Yeah.
I thought at first, and then at the end they made a comment about not being able to identify the person or something, and I
Yeah,
was a
because he
little
jumped.
lost
He
there.
committed suicide by jumping off a bridge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it
Gotcha.
was Liz's brother, and she said that she would have to go over there and try to get him to eat, and he'd just never eat. And it's like the complete opposite for Charlie. Um, I saw too some people online were saying that they should have hired an actual like 600-pound guy to do this role instead of Brandon Fraser. I feel like that's kind of insensitive because the whole plot is a very obese man dying because of his weight, and so like why
Yeah,
would you? And also, I like if you think about it, how many actors could pull off what Brendan Fraser did? He makes the movie. If you don't get a
yeah.
good actor to play in that role and do what he did,
And
the movie's not going to be good.
let's be
He's
honest.
in every scene.
Hollywood is probably a bit fat phobic. I doubt there are
Hmm.
many. I'm yet to see one 600-pound actresses or actors waiting
Yeah,
to go. So
right. Yeah,
yeah, I don't know about all that.
right. Probably not a ton of them.
No.
Yeah, and so I saw it. It took I think about 6 hours for Brendan Fraser to do the makeup every day. That's brutal.
Yeah.
Also, the suit he was in was 300 pounds.
Holy cow.
Uh, yeah, if you don't know much about Brendan Fraser, he had a really bad back injury. I think in 2013 or 2014, and so he had to get like
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of different surgeries on it. So I can't imagine it was easy for him, especially doing all that makeup. I mean, think about it. If they shoot at like 10 a.m. every day, he has to get there like 4 a.m. if not
Oh
earlier.
gosh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's just incredible. And like the fat suit looked
I was
incredible.
convinced. Yeah, no, it
Incredible. Sydney didn't know who he was and like was like convinced that was like his weight. Like she had no
Oh
clue.
yeah, no, there was
I mean,
no
that's just so convincing.
in my opinion there was no doubt. It said I did read it was a mixture of a suit, makeup, and a little bit of CGI to kind of put it all
Yeah.
together. And I mean, I didn't I couldn't tell that it wasn't like it wasn't a very large, man. So I was fully convinced. I was bought in.
Yeah, so props to the makeup department too.
And I think something worth mentioning too. The whole movie is shot in one location. So I hope
Yeah.
this wasn't too crazy budget. I don't know what the budget on it was, but I mean, the whole thing's shot in
So
his house.
I did see this screenplay is based off of a play, which
Oh,
makes
really?
sense because
Okay,
it's in one location the whole time.
gotcha. Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know how long the play is, but I did see some clips. It's like a lot of it, some of it is like word for word lines
Okay,
from the play to the movie, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna see if I can find the budget for this because that's a good question.
it's
I
gotta
know
be in the
box
fours.
office wise,
I'm
yeah, box office
surprised.
wise, it made 17 mil.
I'm surprised it won awards yet only had a 60 something critic score, and yet
Yeah,
the
so the budget
audience
was
was
apparently 10 million,
okay. Very very fair budget for a modern day
but
movie.
yeah, so it's 10 million, made about 17 and a half million worldwide.
Hmm.
Or I'm sorry, gross worldwide actually was 57 million. So
Oh
actually
wow,
made
nice.
a decent profit. In the US it was 17 and a half million. But regardless, even if you took a little bit of a loss, you won an Oscar from it. It's
Yeah,
A24 film. Like that
yeah,
looks good for studio. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So,
yeah. A24 does put out they're like just a weird studio, but they occasionally will have a
yeah.
hit like this. They'll have their weird hit
Yeah,
that works out.
and what else is cool too, it was shot in like a 4:3 ratio,
Yeah, I
and
noticed that.
yeah, and it's almost like and I noticed it like at the beginning, obviously, but you kind of forget, like you don't think about it after 2 minutes, so it didn't bother me. But I kind of like that because they kind of made it seem like it was like compact, like claustrophobic a little bit because that's how he is when he
Mm,
like goes to their house
yeah,
and stuff. I don't know. That's like the feeling I got from it. I don't know why if they went in that direction because of that or maybe just looked better on film. I don't
maybe
know, but
maybe
I thought it was
it's
a cool touch.
maybe it's because in the movie he would fill up more of the space on that
Maybe, yeah,
box to really emphasize the scale of him being huge.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, heavy movie. The end is. Did you were you sad? Were you tearing up there at the end?
I got a little watery eyed. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think for me, what I took from watching this movie is, he had a lot of regrets in his life, and the best line in the movie is when he's yelling at his wife when she's about
Right.
to walk out, his ex-wife,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
he's
We
like,
have
I
the
just want to
same
do one thing
one
right.
thing right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
And
that
it
as
was
well.
like, yeah, it was a beautiful scene. I mean, it was crazy. And then right at the end too is amazing. But yeah, man, it's like,
His
wow,
daughter though is pretty horrible.
yeah,
I
but
mean,
I mean,
uh,
you can't
there
blame
is a
her in
heart.
a way.
Yeah, there's a heart in there, but man, oh man,
I mean, she gets bullied. She doesn't have
she does.
friends. her
Yeah.
dad, who she admired, left her. Her mom
And
drinks.
yeah.
It's like a lot of it you put together. It's like,
And
yeah,
it
I
does make sense.
understand.
Yeah. I can see why she's kind of
Right?
despicable.
Yeah,
um
she's a teenager girl.
yeah.
I don't know, but clearly she's very smart.
Well, yeah. You can pick that. You can pick
The
that.
haiku that she wrote and Charlie laughing at it. It was so good. There's so many scenes that I liked a lot. But yeah, that one where he's yelling at his ex-wife was like one of the best
Yep.
scenes because it's like I don't know. We're at that age now. We're mid-20s, quarter life crisis, a little past it maybe, and are we doing the right thing in our lives, stuff like that. And to watch this, where this man has these regrets, and he's at the end already, so it's kind of too late for him to try to do anything. So he tries to
To
rekindle
make
this
changes.
relationship with his daughter and give her all this money that he's been saving up to the point where he won't even go seek medical attention because it could, you know, ruin the savings he has for his daughter.
Yeah, which is a crazy thought, but I mean, hey, I think he just kind of realizes, the one person he loved is gone. And he himself is at that point a little too far gone. He's been self-destructive. I like how
Yeah,
I like at the end there too. Uh, Liz, right? Liz, the
yeah,
nurse, correct? Yeah. I
hmm
don't know why I want to call her something like Izzy or something, but it's Liz. Um, she comes in and she goes, "I got you two large meatball subs." And then she kind of like, and he's like, "Thank you." And then she sits down and she's like, "What am I doing?" And I'm thinking the same
yeah,
thing as the viewer. Like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah,
I know you're trying to be supportive. Like, she was like the best and worst ally. Like, she
yeah.
got him a
She
wheelchair
was
and
feeding the addiction.
yes, she wanted to get him to a
Yeah,
hospital, but also was like okay with giving him whatever he needs. Maybe that was her way of probably reading into it too deeply here, but she wasn't able to do that for her brother. So now
yeah.
she can quote unquote help him, even though it's not really helping him. She's kind of helping destroy him along the way.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Because she loved her brother, and she knows her brother loved Charlie, and so she wants to
Mm-hmm.
look out for Charlie since her brother's gone. Like that all makes sense. And the another scene too where she figures out how much money Charlie had stowed away, and she was like, "You had me walking through the snow with your groceries when my
Yeah.
truck broke down." Like, and she helps him like daily almost. You know what I mean? Like to the point where he's never had to go to the hospital because he has this nurse working
Yeah.
for him
So
for
so
free.
you start to kind of, this movie did a really good job of you feeling pulling you, feeling sorry for him, not feeling sorry for him, feeling sorry for him, not feeling
Yeah.
sorry for him. Like, you
hmm
know, you're watching a very depressing person, but you're also like, well, he's doing it to himself, but he can't help himself. But he's got money, but he wants to save it for his daughter. It's a
Yeah,
lot
he's
of,
depressed and
yeah,
yeah,
it's push and pull back and forth. Should I feel sorry? Should I not? And I think they did a really good job of that in
great
this.
job at it.
Like,
Yeah, great job at
because
that.
you really do go back and forth. Is he the villain or not? And I don't know. At the end of the movie, I even, we see him die, and I think I felt bad for him, but also I'm like, well, also, you could have done a couple of things to not even like wait things, but at the end there, go to the hospital. You had the money, whatever it may be, not had your last supper where you had 3 pizzas and chips and and everything in the fridge. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't know. Or when Liz is trying to, help him with, you get stressed out, and this is one of the things that increases your blood pressure. When they read his blood pressure, I was like, holy shit, how is he alive? Uh,
Yeah.
because
What
I
was it,
was at the
238 over
yeah,
140?
I was at the doctor, not too long ago, a year ago, and I had like just barely above average like blood pressure, not anything where like
Where were you at? Do you
medication.
remember?
Like
Because did
one.
you see it on your watch, your Apple Watch?
No, you can't see blood pressure. That's your heart rate.
Oh,
Your
okay,
your
okay.
blood pressure is different. So your
Oh,
blood pressure, your heart rate is like kind of your heart. in the moment. Your blood
Yeah.
pressure can vary, and you could be even an individual that's, pretty healthy and have higher blood pressure. It can
Mm.
do with diet, sleep, stress. A lot of things factor into it. And a higher blood pressure just, at a very essential, I'm not a doctor at all, but if you have a higher blood pressure, you're at risk for more things.
Okay.
A heart attack, a stroke, whatever that may be. And the higher the numbers get, it doesn't guarantee you're going to die, but your risk of dying is way, way, way higher.
Yeah.
Normal's like 120 over 80. So he was at
Mm.
230 over like 130, which would mean like
Wow.
literally at that number, it means like go to the hospital. Like you are
Yeah, it's
in
beating
like,
at a rapid rate.
so it's not even, your heart's not beating any faster. It's the blood
Mm.
is very constricted going through your veins in your body. There's a ton
Oh,
of
okay.
pressure. So little bit different. His heart was probably beating at a, elevated rate because he was huge. But
So they probably could have saved if they went the first night. They probably could have saved him for maybe a couple more years. Maybe.
maybe, probably not. Probably like a couple more months.
Mm.
Um,
I mean, he would have
but
had to start a diet and weight loss
yeah,
program or
he would
something
have
at
an
that point.
emergency fat like surgery. Like there would have needed to be quite a few things to happen there to even prolong him like a year at that point. But
Yeah.
he did nothing. So and Liz kind of knew. She was a nurse. She mentioned it, more than once. Like we're on borrowed time right now. Like there are
Yeah.
literally it could be any second. This is not a matter of if, it's when right now. Like we're a week out from death, which is crazy that it was part of his suffering. he
Yeah.
knew he knew he was going to die, but he wanted to kind of deny it. You saw that when she put that stress meter on him, and he knew that, "Oh, okay, I'm getting stressed and my blood pressure's going on." He just ripped it off. He
Hmm.
didn't want, he knew there was a problem but didn't want to address it.
Yeah. Yeah. His stress would just go straight to eating.
Yeah,
The one scene where he was like choking, like, oh, geez.
I
She's
know.
she's a smaller lady. It's like, how is she supposed to give him the Heimlich?
I was wondering that too, and she had a
She'd have fully
sad,
body slam him like a couple different
sad but
times.
creative way to do that. To, yeah, literally, lean over that thing and I'm gonna jump on you.
Yeah, and again, luckily she's a nurse because no one else would be probably know how to do that
Think,
to
yeah,
someone
because
that big.
I know how to do like the standard one from taking a
Yeah,
first aid class, but not someone that's 600. I couldn't, because you're supposed to be able to get behind them. I wouldn't even be able to wrap my
yeah,
fucking arms around that person
no, yeah,
or hit their back.
dude. Even his like big hands and arms, like they look
Yeah,
so real.
yeah.
That's crazy to me how
Movie
well
definitely
that turned
motivated
out.
me to be like, all right, let me get a subscription with Breast and Barbell.
Yeah,
Shout out.
lose some weight and yeah. I thought the scene with him and his ex-wife where they're like kind of resting on each other a little bit, talking about when they took their daughter Ellie to the beach. Like I thought that was a really sweet scene. We see it at the very end.
We see it at the end there. Yeah.
They say when right before you die that your life flashes before your eyes. And so, he is like looking up at the ceiling and you assume he falls, but like it's a quick blinding light and then it shows
Mhm.
them on the beach and then the credits roll, and I think that was just him having that flashback to his life.
Yeah,
I don't know, I that's what
a
I
piece.
interpreted it
No,
as the ending.
I think the same. That was his, one of his last few kind of like peaceful moments.
Yeah.
So, ugh,
Yeah,
heavy,
but Sadie
heavy.
Sink did great.
Oh,
uh
she was fantastic. Yeah, I was like, it took me a
Hong
second. I
Chow did great.
was like, is she from? Yeah, I was like, that's the girl from Stranger Things.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had to look it up.
yeah, so she did great. But yeah, I can read some movie trivia here.
Okay.
um Following its debut screening on Venice Film Festival, both movie and lead actor Brendan Fraser were given a 6-minute standing ovation. The moment caught on camera brought Fraser to tears.
Oh,
God, no one deserves a comeback story better than Brendan Fraser. Truly, it's
yeah.
incredible. Young Ellie in the flashback scenes is played by Sadie Sink's little sister,
Oh,
JC
that's
Sink.
kind of cool.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, she did look just like her.
Yeah.
Now that I think back to it, Charlie is loosely based on the author Samuel D. Hunter, who wrote both the play and the movie adaptation.
Hmm,
That's pretty
okay.
cool. For the role, Brendan Fraser spent 4 hours. See, I saw 6 hours of videos, so I don't know.
Okay.
Each
4
day
is
being,
still crazy. Don't like
yeah, no,
don't sell
don't
it
undersell
short.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the prosthetics weighed up to 300 pounds. He also consolidated with obesity action collation doctors and worked with a dance instructor for months before filming in order to determine how his character would act and move with
Mm.
excessive weight. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
The
true because
whale,
it would be real quick. That would be,
yeah,
it's not like anyone becomes 600 pounds overnight. That's something that your
no,
body would slowly or, semi quickly, but not fast, kind of adjust. So things would, become
yeah, like
different.
the way
You
you
would
roll around and
walk and things like that.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it would kind of alter that stuff. I've gained some weight, but not
especially
enough
moving
to.
through that small little set they had, the
I was
small
gonna say I've
house.
gained some weight, but not enough to alter how I move or anything. I probably
Did
can't
you
do as many
notice too?
push-ups.
He was in like this apartment building. He was on the top floor. Someone was living underneath him. You gotta assume. Yeah, like that would be loud.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that
whoa,
would
he's on
not
the
be
top
fun.
floor. Yeah, so
Yeah, that would be
something I
oof.
noticed during watching. Yeah, the whale was originally published title for Moby Dick's reference is part of the movie, which we knew. Shot in 4:3 aspect, giving the viewer a confined, boxy atmosphere that mirrors and confines Charlie's apartment. Okay, so that's kind of what I said. I mainly based it off him and his
Did you
weight.
make that up or did you read the fact first?
No, so I did not read the facts first. I guess, well, so the facts saying that it's to make Charlie's apartment feel smaller, but I felt like it made him look bigger.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't know. I guess I could do both. During the end credits, whistles from whales can be heard.
Hmm.
Okay, and then this is my last one. Uh, Ellie's 3-line essay is 17 phonetic units that are haikus. The notebook, I'm not going to read what the haiku said, but there is a clinical tone, often emphasizing a human fibulise. One can even be seen in Charlie's counting 575 symbols on his fingers while reading the lines of the essay. It's pretty
Hmm.
interesting. So, yeah, when he started counting like that with his fingers, counting the essay she wrote in the notebook, I'm like, what is he doing? And then he goes, well, it's a haiku. I'm like, oh, shit, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
It's, yeah, I like completely wasn't thinking. I'm like, wait, what did he discover in this notebook? So, I don't know. I'm an idiot, though, but
That's right.
yeah. All right. You want to get into scores here?
Um, yeah.
I'm interested to
And
see if you lean more with the critics or more with the audiences.
okay. Yeah, I'll go. I'll go first. I think we covered everything that we want. How long was this? What, 2 hours? I think
Hour 57.
it did feel like it. That's usually one of my complaints that I like to
And it's
tag
in one
on.
spot
Yeah,
with one character in every
It
scene.
didn't. It didn't feel like it. I thought it was maybe like the perfect length. Didn't feel too
Yeah.
long or too short.
But you know why? His acting was that good.
I think it was. I definitely lean more with the critics. It's not my favorite movie. I only say that because I'm not going to score it 100.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Our audiences gave it a 91, though.
Yes, yes, yes.
So you're
Sorry.
closer to them.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I'm closer to the audience. Yeah, I mixed it up. Um, I generally like overall, I would recommend at least everyone check this out at least once, just because of his performance, and it's something different that we haven't had yet. It's original.
Yeah.
With that said, I don't have many complaints. I'm gonna go 86 out of 100.
Nice. Yeah, we've seen stories sometimes where it's like a parent trying to rekindle a relationship with a son or a daughter
Mm-hmm.
in the past. But yeah, the way this movie goes about it, on someone who's basically on their deathbed was incredible. And again, like just seeing the regret in his eyes, the eye acting was crazy.
Yeah.
I can't praise him enough, obviously, and
Big
yeah,
fan.
I don't think this movie would have worked without him. I truly don't. So I'm gonna go with the 90. I
Okay.
really, really enjoyed this movie. I could see myself watching it again. I'm pissed off that I waited this long to see it. I would have rented it for the $10 if I knew I would have liked it this much. Because I remember just seeing like small snippets of it, and I'm like, how good can this be? And then it opens up with him, watching porn. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
what is this character about? And I'm just trying to learn about this guy. And
Yeah, that's a hell
once
of an
we
opening.
it is, but once we like, go through everything with him and figure out, about his partner that he lost and his daughter and his failed marriage and everything like that, and seeing how the characters around him have been impacted by him,
Hmm.
either in a negative or positive light, was awesome. I don't know. We would watch a 2-hour movie and in one setting, and we weren't bored and we didn't think it dragged. I think that speaks volumes to how well this movie was done. So
Agreed.
yeah, that was the whale. So we're going from a small secluded film to a big gigantic blockbuster in Gladiator 2 next week, which we're very excited to see.
Josh didn't want to do Wicked.
Maybe I'll watch it. I'm seeing it. Yeah, I know you saw it. I know you saw it. I'm seeing
I
it's
did.
doing very well, um, in ratings. So maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. I didn't know it was a musical.
Maybe. Yeah, 100% it is.
Okay, I'm not against musicals.
Yeah, no, I know.
I'm not. Love The Greatest Showman. I like Joker 2 more than others.
La La
Uh,
Land.
love La La Land. So yeah, so I'm not
Jo-
against it.
Joker 2 is bad though.
Okay, it
Sorry.
wasn't. It wasn't awful.
It
It was an
was
okay film. I thought it was an okay film.
massively disappointing compared to the first.
Wow, I mean, it depends how you look at it. Well, thank you guys for listening. We will be back next week for Gladiator 2, and see you guys next time.
See ya.